Veeam Backup for Microsoft Office 365 is Veeam's solution for backing up Microsoft Software as a Service applications. Our console currently includes Exchange, SharePoint, OneDrive for Business, and new with version 5, Microsoft Teams. Configuring the console allows you the flexibility for adding your organization via a full cloud deployment, hybrid, or an on-premises configuration. You're also able to include Exchange, SharePoint, and OneDrive, as well as Teams as an inclusion or exclusion directly from adding it to the organization scope. We also offer flexibility in the authentication types, from modern authentication, which allows you to use either a certificate or an application-based password, as well as removing the legacy protocol authentication. We still do offer the basic authentication, which uses the username and password. Coming into your backup infrastructure, you're able to configure as many proxies as your infrastructure requires, as well as the flexibility to either have that proxy on domain or off domain, depending on your configuration preferences. Repositories allow you to either back up locally or to an object storage. When backing up to an object storage, you do accumulate a local cache. This cache helps with restore at a later time by keeping a local discography of the files that have been sent to that object storage, saving time in retrieving the file hierarchy. We also offer the flexibility of the retention policy, allowing you to choose how long you would like to keep that data and when you would like that retention policy to be applied. Coming into your job configuration, we have the flexibility to configure your job scope based on either users, groups, sites, teams, and your entire organization. If you do choose the entire organization, you can granularly scope each job down to whether or not you want to back up mail, OneDrive sites, or maybe just the team's applications. We'll go ahead and look at the exclusions, which are just as flexible. If you do decide to back up from an entire organization, you can have a granular group which you wish to choose to exclude from the backup. Setting up the backup proxy is also linked to the backup repository. New in version 5, we've offered flexible schedule start time option. So if you do have jobs that run on a certain SLA rotation, where they occasionally overlap, you can choose to start a job on an offset, which will allow your jobs in your server not to need as many resources throughout the day. Talking about the new teams, we have added a new Teams Explorer. This Teams Explorer allows you to granularly recover Teams channel items. With this Explorer, we have an advanced search and find, which allows you to search specific posts or files in different fields, as well as granularly scope down which data you would like to extract from that field. In this case, I'm going to look for a file named OSI. In a matter of moments, it will search through and show you any file that meets the scope that you have specified. If you know where a file is located, you can granularly go through each of your channels, find whichever file or post was requested for a restore process, and have the option to either view the file, view the history of that file if there are multiple versions, restore back to the original location, a new location, or if needed, you can export that file into its native format. If you do work with the help desk function, we have the ability to send an email directly from this console out to an end user containing that file as an attachment. This Explorer also allows you to restore multiple Teams channels at the same time once you have authenticated. you can choose which channels you would like to include within the restore scope and which items you would like to restore. You can choose just to restore permissions, which allows you to restore a channel back to its original scope without modifying any of the data within that channel, which can help if you did make a change that has an unintended effect.